Hi friends, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have just a mini little bookshelf reorganisation. So I have two shelves that I'm going to be focusing on. There's just a couple of bits that I'm not super happy with. It's not going to change loads, just little bits within shelves. And I've tried to give you the best view I can, but this room isn't the biggest and it's quite cramped, so up here this shelf and this shelf are my classics, and at the moment it's just I can't even remember how I did it, but I think it's just children's classics by height and then bleeds into adults classics. So what I want to do is have children's classics just on the top shelf, adults on the bottom shelf, and I also want to split them up into read and unread. Then you can't see it yet, but the next three shelves, so this one and the two below, this one and the two below, are contemporary, and I just want to make that like a little rainbow. And then behind you is my fantasy shelves, and I just want to rejig that a little bit because it's just a bit of a mess at the moment. I want to try and find a better way to put my YA fantasy, which is what I'm not really reading as much anymore, so that it's not in the way as much, because it's kind of right in the middle, and then my adult fantasy, which is what I'm much more into now, is just all spread out where it fits. And I want to kind of swap that around a bit, make the adult fantasy more of the focus. So that one I think is going to be the trickiest because I don't know how I want to achieve that, whereas with this shelf I know what I want to do. But yeah, I'm going to get into that. Also, just as a note, if at any point you notice, I am wearing pyjama bottoms. It's a bit chilly today and it's I'm at home all day. I want it to be cozy. But I'm going to get started on the classics. I think I'm going to start with these.
Couple of billionaires died inside a submarine. Would you go to that extent to get away from me? God knows we tried to talk it out.
I guess that's these shelves. I put a copy of Pride and Prejudice there because I have a separate shelf for kind of special edition classics, and that one didn't fit there, and it clearly didn't fit down here with the adult ones. And then I've got some poetry there, and I've got a copy of The Railway Children, which I love that book so much. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Part of me is I like being able to visually see what I've read and not read, especially with classics because I have a tendency to forget. But another part of me is but it would be so nice to put all the Penguin English Library together and the Vintage Red Spines together, but then I can't see the difference and that splits up authors, so I don't know. This is what I'm going with for now. But I'm happier with this, I think, because it's filled up the shelves, it's put homes for those two special editions. So that's the classics done, and we'll move on to the contemporary shelves. So like I said, I want to do them in a rainbow, and I don't know how well that's going to go because I don't really have a whole lot of contemporary, and I have a lot of white ones, but we'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. When you're doing rainbow shelves, sorry, this is not going to be in focus because when I have my camera on autofocus it makes a lot of noise, but you can at least see that this is three colours. Where do you put this? It's not even one is more dominant, it's equally three colours. I have no idea where to put this. I feel like I've done rainbow shelves before and this one always stumps me. I'm going to stick it in green for now because I feel like I'm not going to have as many green.
And if the rapture came right now, I'd be okay with that. I would have given everything if you would let me. I would have fought it out until I drowned. Discovering the point where it went south was a therapist who opened up your mind.
actually turned out better than I expected. Like, I got a nice single shelf rainbow going on here. This is all black and white, and then there's a few more pink underneath, and then just some like brown and gold and silver. But I'm really pleased with that. I wasn't expecting it to come out that good, and it looks like so cool in the camera. Oh, I'm really chuffed with that. Okay, so that worked out better than I thought. I just wish I had a more even split of white and black, but oh well. Okay, so I'm going to move on to fantasy. This is where I really need to like think about what I want to do, so this might take a bit longer. So these are like my fantasy shelves. I want to change bits of it. I don't know, you can't see this shelf super well, but this one's staying the way it is. That's just Sarah J Maas, that's all. And then these top 4 shelves are pretty much staying the way they are. I might add to this one, but nothing's moving. These are all my like adult fantasy paperbacks. The ones, oh, this one as well will probably stay the same, but again I might add to it, but I won't take away from it. This is a very small fantasy romance section, and then a cozy fantasy section. But yeah, the areas I want to focus on, you can't really super see them, that's not great. I'm going to have to tilt the camera down in a sec. But down the bottom on this side, I have this shelf. These are for a reading challenge I'm doing this year, so they just need to find proper homes. Why can books not just stand up? It winds me up. These are like just a mix of different sizes. I've read some of them, not read others. That's just a mix. Down here where you can't see, I have read adult fantasy hardbacks, and then on the bottom shelf is unread, and then on the bottom shelf of this one is also more adult unread fantasy hardbacks. But then it goes into like YA, and then this one here, YA. So it's just a bit jumbled, and I want to try and make my adult fantasy section kind of flow together a bit better, because that's what I'm much more into. So I'm going to try and figure out how I want to make this work. I might put just read YA just all along the bottom, and this shelf would be nice to kind of incorporate better because it's just things are shoved there. So I don't really know what I want to do yet, but this is what I'm working with. This is why I thought this one would be the hardest, because I don't have a direction to go in, and it's just a bit of a mess. And I feel like I'd like to downsize my YA fantasy collection, but at the same time I've been through it recently and there's not much I would get rid of at this point, because I have just had like a culling. Like, I would maybe get rid of the Fairy Loot editions of Raybearer. Don't know how well you can see this, because they're like hardback and they've got sprayed edges, but the cover is the same as the standard UK one. It's not anything different. Whereas the Illumicrate Raybearer was really different, so I'd keep the Illumicrate one and maybe get rid of the Fairy Loot one. So that could be an option. But again, like, I have just recently had a YA culling, so I don't think I can downsize it a lot, which is a real shame. One thing I might do is kind of add to this shelf, make it like fantasy romance slash cozy fantasy slash like indie fantasy, because I only have a few of those, so that can be just like a mix of options on this shelf, and some of them on this shelf already are indie fantasy, and a lot of my indie fantasies are too tall to fit on my paperback shelf. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking out loud now. I may as well just get on with it. Do some things.
Now I'm haunted by the thought of throwing grapes in the silver bucket. When you said this is what you wanted, did you mean just stealing chocolate? Said this is what you wanted. just stealing chocolates.
Hi, so I have no idea where you saw up to because my camera decided that my 120GB SD card was full when it had 10GB worth of video on it. I don't know enough about how these works to know if that actually makes sense, but just right now it doesn't. But yeah, that was really annoying, so I don't know where we got up to, but I've done some stuff. I will show you some stuff. Also, there is a chair in the way. Oh, that's a bit better. Okay, anyway. So I ended up keeping this shelf just cozy fantasy and fantasy romance. This shelf became like, it's got some indie stuff on this side and then just some Tolkien and then an arc I have on that side that's just a bit weird. Over there, oh dear, there are just some random hardbacks that are like really short hardbacks, but they're not quite paperbacks, that's all the same. So then I have I keep looking at what I'm pointing at instead of where it looks like I'm pointing in the camera. These are my red hardbacks, and then from there, that's the start of unread. And then unread carries on here, this shelf. And then there's two there, and then that's unread YA. And then just along the very bottom is all just YA. Starts with read and goes to unread at the end. And that's what I've done. I'm hoping that I will just be able to get rid of a load of the unread YA as I read it, because it's just so not my genre anymore that most of them I'm reading lately I've more been reading because I have had them for so long I feel like I want to give them a try before I unhaul them, but I know I'm not going to like them. So I think my YA collection will downsize a bit. During that I did downsize it a little bit more. Anyway, I made some decisions and getting rid of all these. So I've got Neverwild Wake, I really enjoyed it but I'm never going to reread it. Same with Fire and Heist. Same with my Kaelan Bayron books. I'm keeping a special edition of The Poison Heart, This Poison Heart, because it is a retelling of The Secret Garden, which is one of my favourite books of all time. So I'm keeping the special edition, but I don't need to keep the paperbacks. I'm not going to reread them. I'm getting rid of some Lisa Ledecky books. They were good at the time, never going to reread them. And like I said, I am going to get rid of my Fairy editions of Raybearer and Redemptor, just because they're the same as the UK paperbacks. So I'm keeping the Illumicrate ones that are actually different. So that's an unhaul. I also took this off the fantasy hardback shelf because I think it's actually sci-fi. It's The Actual Star by Monica Byrne. I think it's sci-fi, I don't really know, but I'm going to put it on sci-fi for now. If you've read this and you know what genre it falls under, please tell me. I don't know. So yeah, that's my little mini bookshelf reorganisation, plus a little tiny mini book unhaul. Yeah. I am going to do a proper bookshelf tour soon, so stay tuned for that. That will be hopefully fun. But yeah, I just wanted to, I've been wanting to get my shelves looking a little bit nicer and a little bit tidier for a while, so I thought I may as well do it before the bookshelf tour, and I thought why not just film a little mini reorganisation. So here we are, I'm much happier now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!